She thinks she's into him because of some mysterious chemistry. She thinks her heart's racing because of a vibe she can't explain. She thinks it just happened, that somehow she couldn't help herself. But what she doesn't realize is this: she was set up, psychologically, deliberately, effortlessly. The entire emotional spiral that led her from curious glance to bedroom decision was calculated by a man who knows exactly how her mind works. You call it game. I call it a 3-step loop that plays her against herself. While most men are trying to impress, Playboys use silence. They use mystery. They use tension, like a wire pulled tighter and tighter until she snaps. Not with pressure, not with logic, not even with seduction, but with something far more dangerous. Perception control. They don't fight her mind. They lead it. And the more she tries to figure him out, the deeper she falls into the illusion. Today, I'll break the entire loop down, not just so you can understand it, but so you can control it without becoming someone you're not. Because once you get this, you'll realize why she's not rejecting you because you're not good enough. She's rejecting you because you're playing checkers in a game of 4D chess. And the men winning? They don't even have to try. Number 1, push-pull psychology. This is where the seduction begins, without her realizing it ever started. Not through compliments, not through showing interest, not through validation, but through something far more primal. Tension, confusion, obsession. You see, most people crave certainty. But emotionally, women crave uncertainty that feels safe. And that's what Playboys give them. On purpose. They create a roller coaster of highs and lows, interest and detachment, warmth and coldness. Not because they're indecisive, because they know this simple truth. If you create emotional imbalance, her mind will chase resolution. And the more her mind chases, the more she invests, and the more she invests, the more she feels. This is the push-pull loop in action. Here's how it works. Push. Give just enough energy. At the start, he makes her feel seen. He offers a compliment, but not the obvious kind. It's specific, unexpected, slightly teasing. It touches her ego and her insecurity at the same time. You have a really clever way of pretending to be shy. It's cute. It's not just flattery. It's targeted tension, the kind that gets stuck in her mind. Then he follows it up with presence. Full attention, eye contact, warmth. She starts to feel the high, the spark, the connection. And then, just when she expects more, pull, sudden emotional detachment. He goes quiet. He gets distracted. He checks his phone. He ends the convo first, without apology, without explanation. And now, she's replaying every moment in her head. Did I say something wrong? Was he just being polite? Why did the energy shift? This is the mind trap, the loop she didn't expect, because instead of feeding her certainty, he gave her curiosity. And curiosity is a deeper hook than attraction. Attraction fades when it's predictable, but curiosity keeps her chasing a man she doesn't even understand. The moment she starts seeking emotional closure, you've already won. Now here's the dark genius. Playboys never overpull. They push again, just when she's about to emotionally let go. He comes back, warmer, not explaining his absence, not apologizing. He just shows up with a look, a small compliment, a subtle smirk, and all her internal alarms go silent. Why? Because the human brain hates unresolved patterns. And now, she doesn't just want him. She wants to complete the loop. She wants to stabilize the interaction. She wants to know where she stands. She wants to decode what this man is really feeling. And what does that mean? She starts reaching out first. She sends the follow-up texts. She asks deeper questions. She starts playing cool, while her emotions scream otherwise. This is how Playboys make it her decision to chase intimacy. And because it was her choice, she feels no shame about it. She'll tell herself, "I don't know, we just clicked. He's different. There's something mysterious about him." But in reality, she's addicted to the cycle. The loop of tension and release. The trap of almost clarity that never fully lands. And it's all built from one weapon: push, pull, repeat. The most dangerous part? She can't even see it happening. And that's what makes it work. Number 2, scarcity and silence. Let's make one thing clear. A man's presence is currency. And the more rare it is, the more valuable it becomes. This is what average men don't understand. They flood her phone. They chase after every signal. They always show up when she blinks. And in doing so, they devalue their attention. Playboys? They do the opposite. They don't just pull back emotionally. They pull back physically, digitally, energetically, and let silence become the seducer. Because silence doesn't feel like rejection. It feels like a mystery that demands her attention. Here's how the game works. First, they anchor desire with presence. When he's there, he's fully there. Playboys know how to make their presence memorable. He makes eye contact. He listens deeply. He makes her laugh and flinch in the same 5 minutes. Drops layered comments that echo in her brain long after he's gone. "I like how you talk fast when you get nervous. It's kinda charming." Now that presence is attached to emotion in her nervous system, she's not just remembering what he said. She's remembering how it felt to be in his orbit. And then, he disappears without explanation. No overtexting, no needy follow-ups, no double responses, no "did I do something wrong?" Just complete emotional silence. Not ghosting, detachment. Because he's not seeking her. He's letting her feel the absence. And because his attention already activated emotion, the void he leaves behind becomes louder than any words could be. That's where scarcity psychology kicks in. The human mind overvalues anything it can't access, especially when it once felt close. Now she starts inventing meaning. Maybe he's just busy. He seemed interested, though. I wonder if I said too much. He's not like the others who are always texting. And here's the trap. The longer the silence, the stronger her story becomes. And when he finally reappears, he doesn't over-explain. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't even acknowledge the gap. Just picks up where he left off. "You still overthinking everything, or did I finally get you to relax?" She laughs. Her guard melts, and her chase resets, even harder than before. Because now it's not just about connection. Now it's about proving to herself that the interest was mutual. This is why scarcity works. It turns logical women into emotional chasers. It weaponizes curiosity and turns it into obsession. It makes her feel like she has something to earn, even if she said she wasn't looking for anything serious. Here's the catch. This kind of silence doesn't come from insecurity. It comes from internal value. The man who plays this game well? He's silent because he's centered. He doesn't need to fill the space. He knows that when he speaks again, it'll matter more. Because women don't remember the loudest man. They remember the one who said the least, but felt the deepest. The result? She starts adjusting her behavior. She becomes more available. She starts double texting. She asks more questions. She lingers in conversations longer. Not because he chased, but because he stopped showing up and made her feel it. And every time she can't predict him, her imagination fills in the blanks with exactly what he wants her to believe. That he's in control, that he has options, that his attention is earned, not given. And when a woman feels like your attention is a gift, she'll do anything to keep receiving it. Number 3, suggestive control, the art of implied power. Most men speak to be understood. Playboys speak to be felt. The difference? One seeks clarity. The other creates intrigue. One satisfies her curiosity. The other feeds it, without ever closing the loop. This is the core of suggestive control. Not just saying the right words, but saying them in a way that stays with her long after you've gone silent. Let's break it down. The power of double meaning. A suggestive communicator never gives a direct route to the point. He leads her there, but lets her draw the conclusion. When he compliments, it's layered. You know exactly what you're doing, don't you? It could mean her style, her energy, the way she's flirting, the way she carries herself, and she's forced to choose how to interpret it. Was he being flirty? Was that a challenge? Did he just call me manipulative or sexy? This creates cognitive tension, and tension is the root of obsession. The brain wants resolution, and when it can't get it, it keeps replaying the moment. This is what predictable men never understand. If she can explain the interaction, she forgets it. If she can't explain it, she remembers it forever. Less is more. Ambiguity is power. Playboys don't explain their moves. They don't announce intentions. They don't define the relationship. They allow emotional momentum to do the work, then pull back just enough for her to wonder what's next. He says things like, "You're dangerous. I like it. You're trouble. But I'm curious. You're hard to read." That's rare. Each of those statements is designed to flip the frame. Now she's the one being observed. She's the one being analyzed. She's the one being labeled, but not fully understood. This disarms her ego and activates a part of her that wants to prove something. The chase has reversed. Looping desire without closure. The genius of suggestive control is this. You give just enough validation to keep her emotionally invested, but never enough to give her full certainty. She starts trying to decode your mood. She starts guessing what you meant. She starts wondering what your type is, and if she fits. And when she finally asks for clarity, "So what are we doing here? Are you seeing anyone else? Where's your head at?" He doesn't give answers. He redirects. "You're asking the wrong questions. What do you think this is? Do you always need a label to enjoy the moment?" Now her mind is spinning. She's emotionally involved, but without emotional leverage. She's invested, but with no return date. That's what makes it addictive, because the deeper the confusion, the deeper the connection feels. Certainty kills mystery, and mystery is what keeps her body wanting what her mind can't understand. Number 4, the exit before full closure. Here's how Playboys lock in the final move. Right when the connection gets too close, right when she's on the edge of surrender, right when her walls have melted down, he steps away, not forever, just long enough for her to feel everything she was about to give him, with nowhere to place it. This creates phantom intimacy, a psychological imprint that doesn't go away. She might go on a date with someone else. She might try to move on. But her emotional rhythm is still locked into him. Because he didn't just touch her body. He touched the one place most men are too scared to go, her imagination. And that's where the deepest attraction lives. Not in lust, not in logic, but in the emotional maze she's still trying to escape. Final lesson. The trap isn't the game, it's the mirror. She doesn't fall for him because he's a better man. She falls because he knows how to hold her reflection up to herself and make her feel emotions she hasn't felt in years. Desire, confusion, validation, rejection, craving, powerlessness, all wrapped inside one man who never once begged for any of it, because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. She doesn't want what's easy, she wants what activates her. And Playboys activate her by letting her chase her own high. Every text he delays, every compliment he twists, every absence he creates isn't just a manipulation. It's a reflection of her emotional rhythm, played back to her on repeat. And in chasing him, she's chasing the version of herself she's only allowed to feel around him. That's why she goes back. That's why she can't explain it. That's why she tells her friends he's toxic, but dreams about him anyway. It's not about the man, it's about the mirror. And once you understand this loop, you either use it with clarity and control, or you become its victim without knowing. The game is real. The tools are psychological. And the only question is, are you leading the rhythm or dancing to someone else's tune? If this shifted your perspective, if this exposed a truth you've felt but never understood, if this made you rethink how women actually fall, then do 3 things. Subscribe. Like this video, it tells the algorithm more men need to wake up to this. Share it with one person who's still confused about why she ghosted him. And if you want deeper training, raw insights, and new videos before they drop, support the channel. This is Stoic Psychology.